Welcome to Book Talk. Today we have American author Truman Capote. Welcome, Truman. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Well, we have a lot to talk about, so let's get started with, where are you from? I was born September 30th, 1924, in New Orleans, Louisiana. What about your childhood? Did anything happen with that? Until the age of 4, I lived a very normal life. However, when I turned 4, my parents divorced, and after that, my life changed forever. Tell us what happened next. Well, my mother moved up to New York City with her new husband, and due to the Great Depression, my father's law practice was out of business. Because of this, he was unable to take care of me, and my mother boarded me with many of her relatives. That must have been really difficult. Yes, these are some of my loneliest years. However, not all was so bad. During these times is when I met one of my best friends, Harper Lee, who is the novelist that wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, and my great aunt Sook. These two would both be great influences on my writing. Did they impact your writing at all? Yes, of course. They both impacted many of my novels. For example, Aunt Sook is the cousin in the Thanksgiving gift. Lovely. Did your other childhood experiences impact your writing? Yes, my childhood loneliness, my search for my father, and my bad relationship with my mother are all prominent in my works. Yes, of course. Now, where did you attend school? Well, when I was 9, my mother brought me up to New York City, where I attended 2 private schools in New York City and 1 public school in Connecticut. However, she sent me back down to the South during the summer. Did either of these places that you lived impact your literary work? Well, the South most definitely did attribute to my writing. Almost all of my novels take place in the South. However, living in New York and later moving there when I was older would also contribute. My most famous character, Holly Golightly, is a New York socialite. Well, now that we're on the topic of writing, when did you start? Well, as a young boy, I used to write short stories to get me through tough times, but as I became a teenager, I knew that this is what I wanted to do. When did you write your first book? At the age of 17, I published Other Voices, Other Rooms. Many say that this is an autobiographical work. Is this true? It is definitely not autobiographical, but it does draw on aspects of my life, like my struggle with sexuality, my relationship with my father, and the fundamentality of the South. Many people say that your stories are radical, provocative, and scandalous. Do you agree? To me, the greatest pleasure of writing is not what it's about, but the inner music that words make. Now, after high school, did you attend college? No, I actually did not attend college. I instead got apprenticeships at literary magazines such as The New Yorker. These experiences allowed me to get good connections within the city that allowed my career to blossom. Yes, I am sure. Many critics have separated your writing into light and sinister. What do you think about this? As I said earlier, I do not often care about what the subject of my book is. However, with these light novels, I do agree that there are some novels that are more conversational and light in manner, whereas the sinister novels are usually a reflection of my childhood. Many critics say that your writing is Southern Gothic. Do you have any influences that write in this manner? Personally, Nathaniel Hawthorne, Edgar Allan Poe, and William Faulkner are my greatest influences. When it comes to a writing style, what do you think your style is? Well, in all of my novels, I like to take interesting characters and break them down into more realistic and humanize them in a way. However, in my books, like Breakfast at Tiffany's, I like to make them conversational and entertaining to read. Many say that you have the gift of humanizing characters. What do you think about this? Well, with a character like Holly Golightly in Breakfast at Tiffany's, my experience of living in New York and my experience of the New York social life allows me to understand a greater depth of the New York social scene, which allows me to break down the character of Holly Golightly and find out who she really is and humanize her to make her relatable. This is the same with your most famous novel, In Cold Blood. Can you say anything about this? With In Cold Blood, I spent nearly 6 years researching, writing, and visiting with the two murderers, Perry and Dick. I will not say that what they did is not right. However, everyone else is looking at them with this fixed mindset. I had the opportunity to delve into their realities and their past to learn what they really are, and to show that the world that they are not just murderers and that they are humans too. The success you achieved with In Cold Blood is truly amazing. You even threw a ball in its recognition. Well, the 6 years I spent researching, and the more I learned about Dick and Perry, when I thought about how good my book could be, I could barely breathe. And to celebrate the success of my first nonfiction novel, I threw a great ball. You said a nonfiction novel? What is that? Yes, I came up with a nonfiction novel to write In Cold Blood. The nonfiction novel revolutionized journalism because it is both the truth, but it is written in a fiction. Wow, that is incredible. Congratulations on your success. Thank you. What have you been working on since In Cold Blood? I faced a couple of years of what I call writer's block, but since then I have written a few novels and stories. However, none of them are as successful as In Cold Blood. One of your most recent stories, Answered Prayers, is pretty much an inside account of a New York social life, which landed you in pretty hot water with your friends. Yes, this is true. I made a mistake and lost many of my friends because of it. In what ways has this affected you? This has greatly affected me. Not only did I lose most of my friends, but I lost a lot of my credibility. It has been the hardest part of my life. I succumbed to alcohol and drug abuse, and my health has suffered ever since. Well, that is all the time we have today for Book Talk. Thank you very much, Truman, for coming in today. It was truly an honor. Thank you very much for having me.